What's up, everyone? Eric Rossi, the guy with the eye here. It seems like I'm just coming at you a lot right here because there's been a lot of breaking news. And I'm essentially packing to go to Florida tomorrow as you're watching this. And one of my friends and a longtime viewer, Nicholas Irwin, tweeted at me. He goes, "You need to wake up and make a video." And I kind of announced a new line of cameras, the DL. At first, I was like, "What the hell are they talking? What the hell is he talking about?" I knew nothing about it. So then he pointed this to me, and Nikon. And I didn't really think about it. They released a new line of compact cameras, and I'm guessing it's to compete with these more, 1-inch sensor cameras, which essentially these is what they are, like the Sony RX100 Mark IV, which I'll show you in a second, some of the other Fujis, and maybe some of the Sony line. I don't know necessarily if it's a direct competitor with the Sony a6000 because that's interchangeable and a little bit different, but these are now new prime cameras. They're cropped, so they're 1-inch sensor cameras, but they come with a prime lens, and that's how they're really named. So they're like the DL 24-85, something like that. That stands for that stands for it. So let's take a look at some of these. So it looks like Nikon's new line, and that's really why I only covered this, is because it was new. Other than that, if it was like a new J6, I probably would have been like, ugh. But it's exciting because it's something different, and this will definitely hit a market for them because they're like P7700, line did very well, but this is the next step for them. And it doesn't seem like the prices are terrible for these as well. So they have three, the DL 24-85, which is 24-85. Then you have the 18-50, which is your focal lens right there, or your lens right there, and then the 24-500, and you're looking about $650 for the DL 24-85. The 18-50, interestingly enough, will be about $800, and they'll be in April. And then you also have the extended one, 24-500, for $1,000, which will be shipping in pretty much just 2 weeks. So it's interesting. So it's going to be a super zoom. They've had some success with some of their point and shoots already with that. It's going to have a microphone jack, which I guess, you need, obviously, because you want to monitor whatever you're doing. So, electronic dot viewfinder, missing, blah, 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 blah. Let's, what else is there? So each one of these is going to be very, very similar. It's going to be a 20.8 megapixel sensor, 1-inch, like I mentioned. And it's got a 6A imaging processor, so not sure, or a 6-speed. So I'm not exactly sure where that, lands with the 1-inch sensors, but cool, whatever. 20 frames continuous shooting, I guess that's kind of cool for something like this. 4K video. So in the 1-inch sensors, they're actually going full balls to the walls, 4K video at 30 frames per second, and they're actually upping their game at full ultra high def 1080p at 120 frames per second, and then you get a significant 240 frames at 70p. You'll just need a ton of light. So there you go. So let's just kind of look at the cameras right here. So once again, it all depends on whatever the focal length is. This is the 24-85, this is the 18-50, and then this is your super zoom one right here, and they kind of have that retro-y type of feel. So this is also something I wanted to point out, so I'm kind of reacting live. They're a fantastic range. I mean, the 24-500, maybe at about mid-range, you'll be at like an f4 or something like that. So that is not horrible to have a 500mm zoom, be it the 1-inch sensor, but 5.6 is not bad. You're going to get a lot of movement with that. But the 1.8 to 2.8 is definitely not a bad range. And, Nikon has some great optics. So it's just interesting to see this. And I'll obviously link this from, I guess it's Nikon Canada down below. But it's very interesting. And, the prices aren't necessarily terrible. Okay, so it's going to have that snap bridge so you can connect and share, which they're really pushing. So this is what it's going to look like from the top. You're going to have that little Nikon emblem right here. You're going to have your exposure compensation, telephoto, zoom. Cool. You have your manual mode in case you're wondering. Your speaker right here. I don't know if you can plug in. You have an optional type of viewfinder or eyepiece. Let's see. It has 4K video. Looks like near field and Bluetooth. I don't know what it's going to show. Let's just see if it does anything else. That's pretty cool. It has focus peaking. That is huge for something like this. So it looks like it has focus peaking. I will link, as I said, I'll link this down below so you can really check it out. So there are some cool things about this. So there you're taking a look inside. So yeah, I figured that this would just be a cool thing to talk about in the show, and it's a new line out, and that's really why I wanted to cover it. So thanks, Nick, for bring this to my attention. And it is something different for Nikon's line and trying to be innovative. And this is definitely for someone. It, once again, doesn't necessarily compete with the Sony a6300. No, I don't think so, because it hits a different market. It's interchangeable, but does it compete with something like the Sony RX100 Mark IV, which is a 20.1 megapixel sensor around the same size? Bionz is also a very, very fantastic one. They have Zeiss glass, which they use, which is going to be, which is very, very phenomenal. They have this kind of a similar range, 24 to 70 from 1.8 to 2.8. So that's also very good. But they have, interesting optics and a fantastic OLED pop-up screen. So I don't know if it necessarily competes, but it does have 4K video, but it shoots at S-Log. So there still might be some changes that this DL line might need as it, progresses. But I think it's an interesting start. I don't know. So this is definitely for someone. The prices don't seem that terrible. Maybe $1,000 for this point and shoot's a little bit much, but other than that, I think this will deliver some, things there. And around the Panasonic line, like the the FZ 100 or Alex 100 or something like that. I guess it's kind of similar in that regards, especially for this, big guy over here. So what are your thoughts? Let me know down below. Is this something interesting? Is this something that's going to fail like their J1, V1, all those kind of systems? Or is this something that's going to sustain its line and possibly increase over time? Let me know what you think down below.